Hi guys, and welcome to a Register 360 podcast. Today we'll be discussing how each Premier League team fared during the transfer window. I'm joined by our Spanish and Portuguese correspondent Ed Lewis. How are you, Ed?
All good.
All good, good to hear. And I'm joined by our Spanish and French correspondent Jack Ottman. How are you, Jack?
Très bien. No, I'm good. It's been an exciting day of transfers and an interesting month to talk about.
Yeah, it has been. So what we're going to do is we're going to rank how each team fared in the Premier League out of 10. We'll start off with Arsenal, which is my field of expertise. Arsenal got a lot of their business done very early in the window.
That's good.
Yeah, of course. I think Unai Emery and the board were sort of waiting for maybe a star to become available late on. There was rumours of Dembele. But ultimately, Arsenal addressed the areas they really actually needed to.
I mean, it carried on from January as well. You had a good window in January.
If you think about where Arsenal have come from in January, they had the Ozil and Sanchez situation, which wasn't resolved.
Could have been disastrous.
Yeah, really bad.
Actually fared really well getting rid of Sanchez and bringing in Mkhitaryan. I know Sanchez is obviously a better football player, but Mkhitaryan...
if Sanchez doesn't want to play for Arsenal, there's no
exactly,
point
and Mkhitaryan's an adequate replacement.
Nope.
And
you've carried that.
And we've carried that on.
Quick recruitment. You addressed areas that you needed to address.
The signings themselves. So Torreira looks like the main one of the five, of being plugged straight into the first team. And he had a very positive World Cup for Uruguay. Now the crucial one that needs to come off for Arsenal is Socrates. If Socrates doesn't come off, then Arsenal are really in big trouble of getting top four. Because I often feel like Mustafi could become a good player, but he needs that top centre half next to him.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he's quick, he's strong, but he's a rash player. He needs that experienced person next to him, guiding him through the game. If Socrates is that, Arsenal could be, I'm not going to say challenge for the title, but could fare well.
It's definitely been a positive window for Arsenal, 100%. You can't really deny that.
Yeah,
the players they brought in, I mean, all of them look like they could be good signings.
Lichtsteiner's free. He's there for a reason. Leno's going to challenge Czech for the first place.
Well, Bernd Leno's been at Leverkusen for years.
He's been there 7 years as their number one.
Leverkusen are a solid club.
Yeah, they are.
People have been interested in before. I think that's a good signing.
And the one that actually impressed most in pre-season was Guendouzi. And he's 6'2", talented with his feet. I actually think he'll play an important role in the first team. I actually wouldn't be surprised if he starts on Sunday against Manchester City, which would be a massive debut.
We haven't even touched on him, but Steven Lichtsteiner, although he might not play that much, that should be a good role for Bellerin.
Yes.
To learn off him, because that's an extremely...
And in the dressing room.
Yeah, exactly. And he's an extremely experienced footballer. He's been there. He's won a lot. And that's good, just learning for the rest of the team.
Well, Emery said he wanted, 5 or 6 leaders, which you haven't really had.
I mean, he's won.
For years. Exactly, he's won. Socrates arguably has won. And you have got people like Xhaka is another one. So you are building that core, which I think is really important. And it's something you've been definitely lacking.
Where do you feel Arsenal will come this season?
I still think they'll be
just miss out
5th or 6th, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be massively surprised if they got 4th.
I mean, I reckon
I'd say 3rd or 4th.
Or maybe
you think
challenge for 4th.
I think we'll be in the race for 4th throughout the year. Whether we get it or not, I don't know. But you've got to remember, each club that's been in the Europa League in the last few seasons has got to that breaking point at about March time where they've sort of decided we'll prioritise that instead of the league. It will be interesting to see where Arsenal are in March. But even so, no, I think we've got. Jamie Carragher made an interesting comparison to Unai Emery and Rafa Benitez, saying how they're both very similar tactical managers and how he's buying players for specific roles with Arsenal. It'll be interesting to see if maybe we don't fare too well in the league, but we do well in the cups this year.
Well, that would be a decent season.
Yeah,
you're not going to come below 6th, are you?
No.
So 6th wouldn't be a disaster if you have a good season.
It'd be underwhelming, but I mean, it's no worse than last year.
Well, because you could finish 6th, 3 points or 4th, and that's not really a bad season, is it?
Of course. I mean, I don't think fans would be too happy, but they'd give him another year.
The Europa League final and you get to the FA Cup when you win the FA Cup.
Yeah. Okay, so out of 10, what would you rate Arsenal's transfer market?
I'd say probably a 7. Obviously, you got all your business done early, so it feels like sometimes fans feel like because you haven't signed anyone in ages, maybe it's not been that good, but it's not true.
Yeah, I agree. I'd give it
say
7 out of 10.
7.5.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a lot of it, as you said, is reliant on Socrates. If he changes the defence and brings solidity that hasn't been present for a long time, that's a really good window. Okay. And also Torreira's an attacking, as in he attacked other teams with defensive football.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
He's a tackler.
Yeah, we know what you meant. Okay, so now moving on to Bournemouth.
They've had a relatively quiet window.
They have done, not too many signings.
Yeah.
Jefferson Lerma, their main one.
A hell of a lot of money for a club like Bournemouth.
25 million for a player that's never played for a big club.
No, yeah.
Was it
Leganes?
It was Levante.
Sorry, yeah.
He sort of went reasonably under the radar at the World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, Colombia
didn't stand out for Colombia necessarily.
Didn't stand out. I mean, I didn't notice him too much. I was sort of more thinking about Carlos Sanchez and how England can exploit him. He sort of passed us by. It's a punt. It's a big punt.
It is. He's 23, so obviously he's young, but he's got no experience in English football.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's just Frank Dean.
Yeah.
You would have thought that. I mean, they've made shrewd signings in the past transfer markets. Jermaine Defoe, and they've gone cheap. This is the first one. Jordan Ibe was cheap.
Yeah.
Diego Rico as well. I don't know much about him. I know he's a centre back, but 10 million.
I think he's left back now.
Is he? Okay, well, that shows how little.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess if he improves their defence, that's okay. Have they improved? I mean, probably they were very poor. Their defence was definitely their poorest aspect last season. So,
but they've not addressed the centre back. They've still got Simon Francis, Stephen Cook as their two centre backs, Adam Smith right back, and Rico will probably challenge Charlie Daniels.
Yeah, I can see them struggling.
But I just think going forward with Callum Wilson, Josh King, Stanislas, they've still got these talented players who cause problems. I think they'll be fine. Eddie Howe is such a fantastic manager.
I mean, they always play better than some of their parts.
But in terms of the transfer window, I'd probably say a bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
Obviously, one big signing in Lerma, but that's a big risk. 25 million on a central midfielder.
A defence midfielder, not one that wins you games.
Yeah, exactly.
But
he's only scored.
If you look at their midfield, they have players like Gosling, Sermon, Pugh. I know Arthur's gone now.
Yeah.
It feels like a lightweight but fit midfield. He could be the destroyer in that midfield that they've sort of lacked. What would you rate it out of 10?
Like I said, 3 sides. A bit underwhelming. Maybe a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10.
I'd give it a 5. You, Ed?
5.
5. All agree on that. Okay.
I've just seen, by the way, that Jefferson Lerma is only 5'10".
Oh really?
So he's not. Is he not a energetic holding midfielder?
I mean, I assume that's what they've gone for. Yeah, but that's not like a big presence.
Yeah, they've never been a really big side in midfield. No. They've always had small players who've got an engine on them.
But I suppose if you're a Bournemouth fan, you trust Eddie Howe.
Yeah, exactly.
He seems to know what he's doing.
Yeah. Okay, so on to Brighton. Made a ton of signings.
Yeah, loads.
Whether or not many of these will actually feature in the first team, I can only imagine 3 or 4 of what is it, 13 or 14 signings?
Well, it's worth bearing in mind, last year, Brighton made arguably the best signing of the season in
value for money, for sure. Yeah.
And obviously people knew he was, but no one knew he would be that good, so they could have unearthed another one. I think Jahanbach was their...
Good pronunciation.
I think he was their record signing. And he was the top scorer in the Dutch league last year.
But as was
Memphis Depay, Janssen. It's a weird league to trust.
Watford signed Steven Berghuis a couple of years ago. But there's not a great conversion rate from the Dutch league to the Premier League. But
the days of Ibrahimovic, Van Persie, and Van Nistelrooy are sort of aren't there in the Dutch league anymore.
If he's good, obviously he could keep them up. I've heard good things about Basuma as well. They've signed a lot of players.
They've also kept their squad.
Yeah, they have. Well. Gross signed a new deal right at the beginning of the summer, and that's massive for them.
They went so under the radar last year, and were consistently actually very solid.
They were never in real like, they're definitely going down.
I think they had a game against Arsenal, which was their sort of main crucial turning point, where they won, and after that they looked fine.
Well, they're a solid unit, aren't they? And that's another good manager.
Yeah.
There's not that much.
You think they're in trouble this year, don't you?
I think they'll go down. Again, anyone in sort of my bottom 10, I wouldn't be surprised if they went down.
Yeah.
But I think it will be them. But again, also the second season thing does often get to
I just think Chris Hughton is such a solid
he
manager.
is,
And also
there's
with
a lot of teams like that could go down.
No, of course,
I
of course,
just think
but-
it'll be them. But obviously, Dunk is an excellent player. So they've got a very solid team. And
He was unlucky to not get an English call up.
Yeah.
If you look at how Tarkowski got one and like Mawson's on the fringe.
But players like Andoni, they brought on the striker. A lot of their players are unknown quantities, certainly for people who mainly for like.
I personally think they'll be fine.
plus, I think as well. I think a lot
With
of
one or two of those players click, then they'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
their transfers were based around part of it anyway. Was in that they don't think Glenn Murray will get as many goals
Well, he probably
as he did
won't,
do.
yeah.
So they bought Andone, who's a striker. Yakambashi plays out wide, but he can also play out front.
Yeah.
And they also bought Jurgen Locadia in January, and he was injured most of the season, but he was still quite good. I think he played for PSV. He scored quite a few goals for them as well. So, and I think he's 23. So he's still a player that can improve a lot. So I think actually they've done better than people could
I
say.
think their business has
they're
been good because I think you've got to trust out of these 13, 14 signings. There's maybe another Pascal Gross in there.
It's a scattergun approach when you sign so many players,
But they've kept it. It's not like they've brought in 12 and got out 12.
Yeah, no, it's true.
They've brought in 12, hoping that a few will
three
play.
of these, they also signed today. They signed Montoya from Brighton,
And he's played for Barcelona. I know he's a bit part player for Barcelona, but he was sort of in
Valencia last season.
He was at Milan, wasn't Inter Milan for a
you'd say
bit.
they had a good window.
I think I'm
so.
giving them a 7 out of 10.
I'd say 6, just because there's too many unknown quantities, but it could easily work out well for them.
Ed?
I think a 7 as well.
Okay, we'll go with
It's a
7.
good window for them.
So now Burnley.
Burnley was a bit of a weird one because obviously they qualify for Europe this year, or not yet. But
Yeah.
they're in the stage of qualifying, and they don't have any obvious areas to strengthen because somehow they were just so good last year.
Such a solid unit.
But I think Ben Gibson is a very good signing.
Yeah.
I think he's almost could be as good as someone like Harry Maguire, and
But he's of that mould. Mawson, Maguire, Gibson.
Exactly.
They're all sort of, especially
Similar level,
last year.
If he has a good season,
If he has a good season, well, I know that obviously it's no Euros or World Cup,
Yeah.
but if he had a good season, theoretically, would be in the England squad, and then his value goes up to plus 50 million.
Joe Hart, a bit of a weird one because
It's really odd, isn't it?
Unless I know Pope's out for probably a while, but I didn't think Heaton was out for that long, so he won't be their first choice.
No.
Was he done that?
Joe, I
Well,
think
he had to leave City, and
No, but he could have gone to. He could have gone to 5 or 6 clubs in the Premier League and actually been 100% their first choice
Really?
keeper.
Who?
Yeah.
I don't know if there would be
Huddersfield,
Jonas Lossell had a great season last season.
Brighton.
Matt
Ryan had a great season as well. I think all of them.
Fulham were looking for keepers.
They signed Sergio Rico.
Well, they could have got Joe Hart instead.
His stock has plummeted massively.
It's
in about
ridiculous.
2
Watford
years.
could have got Joe Hart instead of Ben Foster.
I'd rather Ben Foster.
No, you wouldn't. You'd
No,
rather Joe Hart.
The problem is his reputation has plummeted massively, and it's a bit unfair, but it has.
As in, he had all of last season to potentially rectify the
And he got
situation.
dropped,
Yeah,
Adrian.
So Adrian also, and
He's
West Ham
still
have
a
then
very
bought
good goalkeeper.
But then West Ham have gone
Yeah,
and
he
bought
is.
another goalkeeper.
But once your reputation goes as a goalie, that's almost it. Like, it's so hard to rebuild it.
I mean, obviously Cardiff would have taken him.
Yeah, fine. But he'd rather...
Newcastle, they don't. I know they. Was it
Dubravka.
Dubravka? I know they've gone and signed
maybe.
him. And Newcastle, I feel like actually Newcastle Hart would like it there. It's a proper
But
good relationship with the fans.
Burnley, am I right? So they've only signed
Palace,
3 players, I
they've
think.
chopped and changed with goalkeepers.
Yeah,
Wayne
that's
Hennessy.
Palace, they bought a new Guaita
yeah.
from Getafe.
Did they?
There's
Like
the
that.
Spanish coming out.
Yeah, I'm an expert.
Burnley only brought in 3 players, which I'd have thought, especially if they get Europe, which is a big if, because they have to play, I think, Olympiacos if they
And
win.
the Turkish team before
Yeah,
that as
exactly.
well.
Yeah.
I'd have thought if
That's
they're in
actually-
Europe, they want to bring in just a lot of players.
5 or
6. Just
because you don't want
players,
you don't want
just
to
bring
find
in-
yourself far in Europe,
And then
with crucial Premier League games, and you've sort of not started the season well. You're about 14th, 15th.
Yeah.
Then you're playing the quarterfinals
Players
of the
getting
Europa
injured,
League, and you
yeah,
have to
exactly.
think: do we go for the Europa League and have the best nights in the club's history
Yeah.
and get relegated?
Vidra, I like, obviously, as a Watford fan, but I don't know if he's good enough for the Premier League. He won't be scoring more than, 6 or 7 goals, and I don't think he's not a very Sean Dyche
They
player.
have
at all.
Wood,
Yeah.
Barnes, Vokes in
Exactly.
front of him.
Yeah. I'd say they're probably a quite disappointing transfer. They've never spent massive money. Deitch is always really good with what he has.
Yeah.
But I'd say it has been a little bit disappointing for them. Maybe their fans, they were hoping for a blockbuster year, Europa League, bring in some big names, hoping to play in Europe, but they haven't really done that.
I'm giving them a 6 out of 10.
I'd say maybe a 5.
I'd go as far as say I've tipped them for relegation.
No way.
Really?
I've really tipped them for that. As in, a lot of their success last season was based on the fact they had stability,
Which
and
they
they didn't
still have.
change the back four
And a bit
a
of
great
luck.
deal, and a bit of luck.
Yeah.
So, but to say that happening, plus with the added games and the added pressure of everyone
Well,
saying,
don't even know if
the
it's gonna
problem is
happen,
that
yeah.
people know how to play them.
Yeah.
You sit back and you just let them come at you, I guess, which is difficult.
I mean,
for the difficult.
the top 6 aren't going to do that.
No,
They've got-
that's fair
Yeah.
enough, but they're not playing top 6 every week, are they?
No,
It is
but-
unlikely that, I mean, it's almost certain they're not going to do it again, but I don't know. I think it has been slightly disappointing.
I mean,
I'd give it a
if
4.
I was to predict where they'd come, I'd say just below mid-table.
mid-table.
But I
Long
think they'll get above 40 points.
Well, yeah, probably.
We'll see.
Will be
I'd
interesting.
say I'd give them
Okay,
4 out of 10.
you give them a 4.
I think 5.
Okay, well, we'll settle with 5 because I think they've actually had an all right window. I think Ben Gibson's good signing.
Ben Gibson's a very good signing.
Okay, so we'll move on to Cardiff.
Yeah.
They're everyone's tip to finish
Bottom.
20th.
Or at
Yeah.
least in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
At the very least in the relegation.
I mean, you
To
can't-
be honest,
you can't-
we all said this about Huddersfield last year.
And Burnley.
I don't think I did though, because you watch Huddersfield play their game, and it's based on the high
And
press.
Brighton as well. To be
But-
honest.
Because with the basis of Cardiff football is like a lot of their goals were scored from long throws. Okay, Stoke a long time ago did really well, but if you look, I know football's not played on paper, but you look on paper, they've got a lot of championship
They were
players.
unbelievably effective.
But so did Huddersfield. Huddersfield didn't really add to their squad that much last year.
They were
But
unbelievably...
it's the style of football I would suggest that they
Yeah.
play better against good
Cardiff
sides.
were unbelievably effective last year.
Yeah.
They had no possession and like their shots to goals ratio was like ridiculously high.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen again
Yeah.
against better defenders. I like
I
Warnock,
think they're down.
but he's a championship manager. He's so
Yeah.
good at doing what he does.
Yeah. In the same way, like sort of
But even-
Holloway
but not
is.
just that, the players they've signed compared to Wolves and Fulham,
Yeah.
the blockbuster.
Yeah,
names.
no, I
Bobby
know.
Reed had a great season in the Championship. May
But
well
that's
be
out of
good.
nowhere as well.
Alex Smithies, these they've
Greg
signed.
Cunningham.
They've
signed
spent
Harry
30
Arthur,
million,
Harry
which
Arthur's a
isn't
good
enough
player,
nowadays.
but not good enough on his own to keep you
No,
up.
not at all.
Victor Camarasa they signed today. I've never heard of him, but he might be a good centre midfielder. But they're not names like Wolves and Fulham. have
You
signed.
know
And-
Jao Moutinho,
Exactly.
you know Jean
and obviously
Siri.
these players could be good players. They could have a solid base, but I cannot see them.
I can't see it. I don't think it's enough for me to go. You know,
How,
what, that's
how
a
bad
solid
do you think
signing.
it will be for them? Are you talking about 25
No,
points?
I
No,
think
we're not as bad as Derby because
Yeah.
I think some
Everyone's
of the,
competitive
yeah,
nowadays.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah,
pick
yeah, yeah.
points up at home. They're solid defensively,
Yeah.
not brilliant, but they'll be all right.
They've got a passionate fan
They're
base.
just
and they're-
comfortably, comfortably down, and their transfer window just hasn't been that
It's
good.
what I
enough.
would expect
I've,
from a
I've
team.
given them a 4 out of 10.
Yeah,
That's
probably
what I'd
say the
expect from a
same.
team that'll go down. I'd say 4
Yeah.
as well.
4 out of 10.
Just
Okay.
not enough quality.
Yeah. Moving on to Chelsea.
It's an intrigue.
It's probably, I'd actually go as far as saying is to actually work out whether it's been a good one or a bad one. It's like the most intriguing one, the most
I
difficult.
think the biggest thing for Chelsea, they've kept
Well,
at the
they don't
moment,
know.
they've kept Hazard and
Yeah.
Kante at the moment.
Yeah.
And if they do keep them, obviously that's big because they are their two best
Okay,
players.
so it's big for this year,
Yeah.
but more
But Hazard
crucially,
needs
they've
sign
got
a
to
new
get.
deal. Yeah.
So it's all well and good in saying Hazard's going to stay for this year. But if they don't get him on a new deal, Hazard's next year in the exact same position that
As
Courtois
Arsenal.
was in this
Oh,
year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Courtois used, in my opinion, he's the second or third best keeper in the world. And if he under a 5-year contract at, what is he, 26, 27, Chelsea could have sold him for £100 million.
Probably.
Instead, they're selling him for 35 million.
And they've had to spend 70
Hazard at 28 next year would be worth 200 million
if he had a
if
big
he had a contract. No, one year on his deal, Real Madrid will snap him up for 85, 90.
Particularly as Madrid, as of yet, haven't really replaced
Yeah,
Ronaldo.
Exactly.
I can't. It might not happen now, but in the next 2 weeks, you never know. He could still go if they come in with 100 million, 125, 30
They'd
million.
need more than that, Chelsea.
No, who would Chelsea have in their club?
Chelsea,
They don't have anyone
Chelsea
to replace
cannot
him.
afford to sell him, really.
No.
I mean, 200 million. I don't think he's gone now.
I know Callum Hudson-Odoi is a big prospect, but I don't think he could step
No.
up and fill Hazard's boots.
No.
No.
I don't think
So I
anyone
think
can.
he's fine for this transfer window, but I think you'll find there might be rumours in January if he's not signed a new deal. There might be rumours
Yeah.
next.
In terms of their incomings, though,
I mean, I watched
they brought on some good players.
I watched the what's it called the
Community Shield.
Community
exactly,
Shield.
and I saw Jorginho and
He looked poor.
He was really
Yeah.
poor.
He was off the pace, obviously.
Really
We'll
poor. But
obviously-
also, what
It's one
I
game.
did like he was not afraid to take the ball.
Yeah.
He kept shooting, it's like giving
A proper
out arms.
register.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What we like to see.
I mean, he's definitely a sorry type of player.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But whether he's a Chelsea player, it might
But they're
not
changing
work.
their system.
It might not work.
I really think it's a transition year for Chelsea,
Yeah.
and I
They
mean,
need
I'm
to
not a
give them
Chelsea
time.
fan. I'd love
They
to
need
see
to give
them.
them
I'd
time.
love to see turmoil at the club. But for a Chelsea fan, I think you'd have to accept if you were to come 5th or 6th this year, but sort of there was more attacking football and
A bit of a
Sarri
change,
was
yeah.
trying some things out,
Give him
and the
time.
youth players actually got games in the Europa League. You've got to think, okay, let's go. Let's leave
But
them
you need
this
Hazard
year.
to sign
Let's
a
go
deal as
next
well.
year. Yeah, massive.
But in terms of like Jorginho and Kovacic are 2 like top class
I mean,
players.
Kovacic. I know he's not started in 2 or
Started
3
the Champions
years.
League
But that's
final.
Real Madrid, though, isn't it? So
Did he start this year Champions
I
League?
think so,
final?
yeah. Or they certainly played when they
he
played
didn't.
4-4-2 against against Juventus. He started.
Okay.
He started
Well,
a number of
he's
key
He's
games.
a good player.
He was a good squad.
But
He's
it makes
obviously
you
a good
wonder.
player.
You've got players like Barkley, Loftus-Cheek. I mean,
Yeah, Loftus-Cheek
they've got
didn't
a
leave.
lot.
They've got a lot of good players.
Yeah, but like players like Loftus-Cheek,
They're not
going to
wait
They'll
around.
be pissed off. Yeah,
They're not going to wait around. Loftus-Cheek will want out.
Barkley needs a good year. He really needs a good year.
Oh yeah, I don't know why he left Everton. I don't know why he pulled up
Well,
a hissy fit. And,
yeah.
like
But
Everton
Chelsea-
suits him down to the ground.
I mean, Kepa's. None of us have seen him play that much, but obviously he's very highly rated.
They
Real
like
Madrid
him in
were
Spain
in
a
for
lot.
him
Exactly, yeah.
in January.
He's unlucky. I'm sure he'd be Spain. He'd have played for Spain more if it wasn't for De Gea.
Yeah.
Although Spain don't really like De Gea that much, but
Not anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I
Um,
mean, they've brought in some good players, and they've
What
kept
do you
the moment they've
what do you
kept
think
everyone.
about Chelsea fans' reaction to Courtois leaving?
I saw someone calling him a disgraceful human and bringing his personal life into it. I mean, it happens to loads of clubs. Players refuse to come to training because they want to go, and when you want to go to Real Madrid, it's pretty impossible.
And
to
he's
stop.
he knows
Yeah.
Madrid already. He's lived in the
do you
city.
think he's gone because of Chelsea don't have Champions League football and Real Madrid is just a
Well,
much
Real
bigger
Madrid have won
club?
the
Or
last 3 champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, no
It's a huge
comparison.
chance.
It's
Yeah.
any team.
I mean,
to
I was
go to Real
speaking. I
Madrid
was speaking
is
to a
step
Chelsea
up.
fan earlier this window, and he was saying Chelsea don't sell their best players. Could this be the start of it?
Maybe Hazard, but they're not going to be a selling club.
Yeah, no.
But Hazard could.
I mean, they've got to be
but-
wary about if they don't get Champions League football this year. Hazard and Kante are the 2 best players in that position
Well, Kante's
worldwide.
not going to be the type to go and.
What? Because
go on
he
strike.
seems like a lovely guy.
He seems like the nicest
Yeah.
guy I've ever seen, but I don't think he's the type.
I mean, he might write a letter to the club and say, "I want to go to Barcelona" or something. Like, you know, say pretty please.
I think they've had it's been a weird one. It's been an alright window, but it wasn't helped by the fact that they didn't know who their manager was until about a couple of weeks ago.
So
I mean,
yeah,
they
bringing his
knew
man.
who it was. They knew they were going to get Sarri, but
it wasn't
the fact-
confirmed.
I don't know why they waited
Jorginho
so
was
long
their first
yeah,
signing.
they waited so long to sack Conte when everyone knew it was happening. It can't be good to be around the club with that kind of
Of
atmosphere.
course,
No.
no.
And
Was Conte training? I think
I
Conte
think he
even
turned up
started.
for
maybe, but
training.
it's just
He
I
turned
think
up for
Conte
training.
actually
Just
started the
yeah, he
pre-season.
did, but you just turn up. Everyone knows you're going. It's just a bit of a farce.
Yeah.
Like you're just
There
waiting.
was the whole problem with Sarri said was it homophobic comments?
Yeah.
And they weren't sure that he was going to come
Well, obviously
in.
they
but
were just
Napoli had
waiting.
already
Yeah,
announced
yeah.
that Ancelotti was coming in.
And there was a
So
case.
it's
or
very
something.
bizarre.
Yeah.
But I'd say
Where do you think Chelsea top 4 or not?
I don't think so.
I think
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
I mean, you can't put them past it.
For
with
me,
Hazard,
it's
then,
yeah.
exactly.
it's difficult to say. I think for me, the one that shapes the top 4 the most is United. If United have a collapse, then Chelsea 100% could easily get top 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they could easily get it irrespective of that, but I don't think they will.
I think we'll see.
I think out of
They
10
keep-
their window, I'd say a 6
I'd
if
give-
they keep Hazard
I'd say
and Kante.
6.
I'd say 5, and if they don't keep
Then it's a
Hazard or
disaster.
Kante, it goes to a 0.
Yeah,
Genuinely,
if they lose Hazard and
I'd
Kante,
genuinely go that
Well,
far
no, that's awful
because they've not even
if
replaced
If they
him.
lost Hazard a month ago, they'd obviously brought in probably Dembele or someone.
Yeah.
But if they lose him now,
That's it.
or Kante,
Yeah, game over.
they are in serious trouble. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
unfortunate because of the way we've decided to do
I
the
don't
window,
think.
but-
I think if anything was to happen and Real Madrid came in for Hazard, then Chelsea would say no, but you can go in
January, exactly.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Like,
So it's-
Liverpool
it
did
would be-
something
Or
similar with
even
Coutinho
something-
Yeah,
last year.
Or
It would
something
be
similar with like
unbelievably
Ronaldo's
stupid.
last season at United. Real Madrid came
Or
for him
go
and said,
next
"No,
summer."
please, one more season with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See
yeah,
whether
yeah.
you like
It would
him."
be
Yeah.
suicidal for Chelsea to let him go. And I,
Yeah,
don't, I,
cannot
don't,
let
I
him.
don't think they will.
Okay, so
It's just, yeah.
5 out of you.
5.
5 or 6, yeah.
5, I'd say
On the
5.
condition that
If I
Hazard
convince
and
Ed,
Kante stay.
we'll go with 5
Yeah,
then.
fine.
Okay, so on to Palace now.
Again,
This is I find this one again really interesting. It's almost similar to Burnley
They took ages before their first signing.
I mean, their most,
not signed many.
Yeah.
The most interesting signing is Max Meyer.
Yeah.
He left Schalke on a free. Now, my thought is that he thought he'd get a big club coming in for him.
An Arsenal or Liverpool.
Someone saying, we've watched you. We really... I don't think at any point he thought, next year, boys, I'm going to be playing for Crystal Palace.
No.
Now, that's not
His
to say...
wages were too high.
Yeah, and I think the problem is... Then maybe we don't know. He's definitely goes
He's
on
got
the category
talent,
of,
obviously.
Yeah, but an unknown quantity.
A few years ago, I was hearing Max Meyer, Leon
with
Goretzka. Yeah.
And Goretzka's got his move to Bayern.
It might be. I mean, obviously, I don't know him, but it might be an attitude problem. If he's leaving Schalke, thinking I'm going to get a bigger club, and doesn't get a bigger club, there's something like alarm bells.
Well, he's left Schalke, got Champions League football this season.
Well, he's Kabai's replacement, isn't he? Because they let Kabai go.
He'll be on very high wages. I mean, obviously, could be a very good player, and obviously, the main thing for Palace is they've kept Zaha.
That is why.
Huge. That's absolutely
They
enormous.
don't. I mean, they've got Benteke, but essentially Zaha's their striker.
Yeah,
they play
him and
They're
Townsend.
4-4-2.
They play 4-4-2. Zaha and Townsend up front.
And I think Zaha's been playing up front in pre-season as well. So they're obviously planning on.
I am very surprised. Arsenal or Spurs didn't
Chelsea,
come in for him.
I think Liverpool,
Chelsea.
Oh, they got Shaqiri, but
but I know 60, 70 million.
Does he start for Spurs?
Yes.
No,
he offers something so different. He's direct.
And even if he doesn't start, you sign him because he can be as good as Son.
In the same way that City signed Mahrez, if he doesn't start, he's that very good squad player.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, 60 million is sometimes a squad player nowadays.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but Spurs.
Obviously, we don't know about Spurs' financial situation, but the fact that Palace have kept him,
I mean, their signings.
His value will only go up.
Exactly. Even if he has a poor season, he can still go for 50 million in January.
Yeah, like Richarlison did.
Yeah, he's better than Richarlison.
Yeah, he's much better.
Yeah.
Like
he's older, but he's better.
You've also got Guaita. So a lot of people had a lot of problems with Hennessy last season.
Well, they've never really had a number one.
They had Speroni, but he wasn't.
And Mandanda for a bit.
Yeah, exactly. They've
Mandanda
been
was
rotating.
a complete flop.
They've never had a solid goalkeeper.
So
and now
McCarthy was there for a bit.
Exactly. Yeah. It could be a good side. I haven't seen it.
I think Guaita was at Valencia.
But ultimately, they kept their core of their squad together. I know Loftus-Cheek's gone, but
they lost. Yeah.
Did they bring an IU? Yeah.
He's been relegated. I think with his last four
Which one's better, Jordan or Andre?
Andre's the better one. Yeah. But Jordan. I mean, he's
a younger
competition to like Townsend and.
Yeah.
Do they still have Sacco?
No, I think he's gone. I'm pretty sure he's gone on a free. They have the other Sacco, Diafra, and
do they have? No, that's West Ham.
No,
Diafra Sacco definitely went to Palace.
They have Mamadou Sacco, and Diafra Sacco does not play for Palace.
Did he not go to Palace for a? No, was there not a rumour? Maybe someone told me there was 3 Saccos.
Yeah, Bakary Sacco's gone.
Oh, okay.
Bakery's gone.
But IU will bring a bit of competition. He's not going to be the one that keeps them up if they do. I mean, I don't think they'll be in trouble. Hodgson is an excellent manager.
He's an excellent manager.
Yeah. Especially he's suited, I think, to a club football.
Also, they can't start as bad
West
as
Brom,
every
not
Liverpool, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
not really
not the slot.
We don't mention that. It doesn't matter. We've got Southgate, it's fine.
Next game.
Oh, no, so Palace, I'd say
6.
5.
I've given 7.
Oh, really? Oh, keeping Zaha.
They've kept Zaha and they've added 2 or 3 players. They've kept their main squad. I mean,
5 or 6. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so if you go 5, Ed goes 6, and I go 7, let's agree on 6. Yeah. Okay, so Everton.
Now, they've had a crazy, they've had a
happened
ridiculous
today?
window. We thought they were going to get Zuma, but I don't think they have. But maybe they will. I don't know. They brought in Andre Gomez.
I mean, it's 9:26, and we're still not sure.
Yeah,
they
brought in Gomez from Barcelona, Dean from Barcelona, Mina. Yeah, Mina they brought in as well.
Yeah.
3 good players, obviously. Bernard on a free transfer today.
Was he
as well.
free?
Yeah, it was a free transfer.
From
He was a free
Shakhtar?
agent. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
So
God.
obviously they spent 35 to 50 million, depending on where you get your figures from, on Richarlison, and it's a big risk.
It's weird. They've spent that
worth it.
Lukaku money on Richarlison and Sigurdsson.
Yeah.
But then last season, if you look at a lot of the players they brought in last year...
Well, everyone thought they had an excellent window.
No, but the problem was last year they signed a lot of the same player.
Yeah, Klassen, Sigurdsson.
A lot of...
Klassen's
Wayne
gone.
Rooney as well.
Sandro wasn't a striker.
They've got quite a lot of that attacking midfield area.
Yeah.
You've got to remember, Walcott's still there. They tried to get rid of Balassi.
He's still there.
Well,
Richarlison will obviously
They've also got Ademola Lookman, who's
staying.
come back. And
Yeah.
Although he could still go.
Leipzig built bid him a lot for him, and apparently he's been said, no,
So
you've
why-
got a big role at the club this
So
season.
why have they signed Richarlison for 35 to 50 million?
I don't know.
I mean,
and Bernard plays there as well.
Yeah.
What have they done?
They've just spent loads of money. They spent loads of money last year, it didn't work. And their manager, Koeman, went, they're backing Silva, they're really banking on Silva working and clicking. But if Silva has a good
What is
season,
it? I
if
know
Silva
he
has
did-
a good first season, he'll be gone. He has no, this is coming from me, but he has no loyalty or anything.
No.
As soon as a bigger club comes in,
What bigger club would go for Silva?
If he doesn't have a good season with Everton,
No, if
one.
he does have a good season with Everton, so if they come sixth, let's say,
I mean, there's something
and
like
cha- and like
Porto,
win the
that's
League
not
Cup,
really-
It depends how well other
I
teams.
still don't think any top six club would get him.
It depends how
Not
well
yet.
other teams do.
Not yet. But
I think
they've had
he's in the same position like Martinez was when he went to Everton.
They've obviously splashed out. Lucas Dean is.
He was on the bench at Barcelona a
I
lot,
mean,
but
that's good enough for
yeah,
Everton.
yeah.
As is Yerry Mina. on
Yeah,
the
I
bench
mean,
at Barcelona.
Yerry Mina is an interesting one in that he arrived. I think he was late. They had problems with his work permit, so he didn't get to Barcelona until January.
Yeah.
And he barely played, and that's
I
okay.
watched
Fair
him-
enough.
England knocked him out of the World Cup as well.
Yeah,
Watching, I mean, he scored 3 goals, but actually watching him
He's not
at the World Cup,
particularly
he's not good with his feet.
Well,
No.
He's really struggled. I know it.
He
You look
scored
at
3
him,
goals.
I know
there's
his
a mistake in
confidence
there or
thing.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a few times where there was a simple 10-yard pass to the left back.
Yeah.
And he's hit it at the left back's chest or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
and you're thinking, what are you
It's
doing?
4 games he played in the World Cup.
Yeah.
4.
Scored 3
3
goals.
games. 3. I know, but that's
No, I know that's not what you sign.
you don't sign a centre back on scoring headers. Well,
I mean,
maybe you do, but
I mean,
No,
I
you
think
don't,
they have
you
had a
don't.
good window, and I think they will come 7th. And I think they're like Richarlison. I think will do very well for them. So you've got to say they've had a good window. They've just spent a lot of money.
well, they've got rid of quite a few. I mean, they. Got
I
rid
do
of
think
Rooney.
they've
Rooney
had a
was
good
on
window.
when
They're a
they
better
have.
team now
They've
than
got
what they
the
were
class
there.
in. Pickford over the summer's value has doubled.
Yeah.
Kevin Morales again.
Centre back is a bit. Well, they've addressed that. They brought in
Ashley Williams.
Check
also.
it. Check the Zuma thing.
Oh yeah, I'll
Like,
see
because
I'll see if that's gone through.
it might not. I mean, if we've heard nothing, I'm guessing it collapsed.
Yeah, it probably did, but that was,
Andre Gomez.
he wasn't that good. I mean,
he's still an improvement on Ashley Williams.
3 hours.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it's like he might do. I don't know.
When was that? 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
Then he's probably.
Probably not.
Probably
although
not.
you never know.
Okay.
I think they've had a good window, 7 or 8. I'd say.
I'd say 7.
I'd give 8.
I think they'll have a good year.
We'll agree on 7 though.
Yeah, fine.
Interesting. So moving on to Huddersfield. Fulham, you're right. Okay, so Fulham. What do you guys think?
It's a lot of new signings, and that's an interesting one. It depends whether they're all players that gel together as a squad or becomes too many players. I don't know.
Do you think what they've done is what you have to do nowadays when you're promoted from the Championship?
Well, it seems like a lot of teams. I mean, Huddersfield signed a lot of players last season when they went up.
Did they?
But there was a
nowhere
number.
near.
But they weren't established players. But they signed quite a lot.
Most of their team, I think, was different from their promotion.
Yeah.
team.
Was it?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Watford certainly did. I think a lot of promotion teams are doing it. Maybe you keep your core, but
Yeah.
you bring in players just to improve because you need to.
Well, when you look at Fulham, they've still got. I don't know if it's a core, but they still have 2 key
Sessegnon
players in
and
Sessegnon, Mitrovic from last season, and also you've got Tom Kearney as well.
And their
They got him on the
centre-back,
deal, didn't they?
Yeah.
Tim Ream as well.
Tim Ream.
But they
signed
bought-
Alfie Mawson and,
Mawson
and Maxime Le Marchand
And
as well.
Chambers.
Yeah, they're all centre
Tim Ream
backs.
won't play.
Well, I saw earlier they could field a strong 11 of new signings, which I don't think is. I mean, Watford have done it as well in the past few years. I don't think it's that good. It depends on the type of
It's
team
quality.
you've got. But also,
John Siri was.
These players have got promotion for you. Marcus Bettinelli was their starting keeper for like the whole second half of the season, and they've now brought in one keeper. They brought in Fabry. They brought in, and then today they brought in Sergio Rico, who was Sevilla's starting goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So he'll obviously be first choice. So Bettinelli worked so hard, had a really good season, got them promoted. Now he's third choice. Like, what do you think he's thinking?
Boo-hoo, who cares?
Yeah, but he's a good player though.
Who cares? If you're a Fulham fan, who cares?
I know.
Yeah, but
I
the
think
problem is
fans
that
will
you.
care.
The problem is
fans will care.
Yeah.
They won't care if they finish 8th.
No, you're right. But you want to see the players that got you there to be given a chance. But obviously, if Fulham are 8th, then they'll be
Also, the owner is very wealthy,
very, very
so he can afford to buy these players and it
Seri,
potentially
yeah.
not work. But also with what he said with Bettinelli, if Bettinelli played week in, week out, and maybe they start to have not a bad run of results, but a small amount, and he's like, well, I could be playing, I was playing last season. That's a negative voice in the dressing room. Someone who'll feel left out considering they had an important role and now having nothing.
Some of the names they brought in, obviously Schürrle won a World Cup. Seri, I don't know much about, but obviously Barcelona wants to
Schürrle will get goals.
Yeah, he will.
Alfie Mawson's, he was good at
Very
I
Swansea.
think Chambers is hard. I mean, I think a lot of Arsenal fans were questioning why Chambers went. I think even a lot of Arsenal fans were thinking Chambers
He'd
might
been
even
around the
start.
team,
yeah.
Mitrovic obviously was superb in the Championship. Didn't really get a chance at Newcastle, so I'll be interested to see. I'd be interested to see if he does.
They don't really, apart from Mitrovic, they don't really have another striker.
If he gets injured or he's not good,
Yeah.
they've got Kamara, but I don't think he's.
He played wing out wide.
Exactly.
They're in Barney Rubble if that happens.
Yeah, well, they've got Luciano Vieta as well, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's the sort of Premier League striker.
Who did they sign today for 30 million?
30 million. Oh, they brought in a midfielder. Yeah,
Random guy.
Yeah,
From
30
Marseille.
million, Yeah.
Marseille.
But they signed a third. This is a promoted team. Have signed a £30 million player on deadline day.
They've spent
It's just
£100
crazy.
million.
Their owner is a multi-billionaire. He owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's trying to buy Wembley. So obviously, money is like no object. But 30 million.
If they
is
keep
crazy
going that
money.
way, could they overtake a West, like sort of where West Ham are in the sense that they've got the Olympic Stadium? I think West Ham consider themselves as almost one of Everton, West Ham,
One
like
of
sort
those
of,
three teams.
Yeah.
Not the top six.
Do you
but
think
Back in the day or
Fulham
something.
could very quickly get into?
I don't
no.
think so.
It
I think it
happens
would take
quickly, but it might happen eventually. But
4
I
or
don't,
5 years.
Yeah. Maybe a bit.
I mean-
maybe 3 seasons,
Yeah.
2 seasons.
Well, you say that, but it's so hard to get established in the Premier League now. Stoke were in it for 10 years, 9 years, and they've just gone down without really struggling before. Watford have been in for 3 years now. I wouldn't call us an established Premier League side. Bournemouth
Nor
as well.
Bournemouth.
Burnley have only been 2 years. But Palace have never been in trouble, but you wouldn't be surprised.
Newcastle have been down a lot
It's so
as well.
tough. It's so tough. They've spent loads of money, and you'd have to say on paper they've had a good window.
I mean,
I think so as well.
Yeah.
I think 9 out of 10.
I'm very excited to see Sessegnon. Very excited.
Yeah, so am I. And I think Seri should be a good
I
player
look
as well.
forward to when Spurs sign him next year and loan him back to Fulham, which will obviously happen.
They may not do. They have had a good window, and I love their manager. I adore their manager.
All right, yeah.
But I'm obviously hoping they finish below Watford. But I think they have had a very good window.
Yeah,
on paper.
I think it's an 8 for me.
Yeah.
8.
On paper,
I'd say 8 as well. Yeah.
I'll
because
give them 9.
they've significantly improved the squad.
Massively. So,
They did lose Ryan Fredericks, who was a big blow.
That's true.
On a free as well, but they have replaced him. I'm not sure who. Le Marchand, maybe. I don't
Le
know.
Marchand's a right left back.
Well, then I'm wrong. But but yeah, they have had a very good window. Joe Bryan, is he a right back?
No, he's a left back.
Well,
as
then
well.
just because of Sam.
yeah, no, I have no idea.
Okay, so we'll agree on 8 for that. Now moving on to Leicester.
Huddersfield.
Huddersfield.
You've got to sort it out for that.
Yeah. Okay, so Huddersfield made a few signings, not a significant amount.
Yeah, a lot less than last year. Obviously, they did very well last year, staying up. I mean, a few of their players.
They got rid of Tom Ince as well.
Yeah, they did. He wasn't
that good.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
But he's got talent, though.
He does, but not.
Didn't he pop up with big goals?
He scored against Watford. Yeah, that was actually a very big goal. It was his first goal of the season, I think.
Oh, was it?
So he popped up with a big goal, but it's not enough, really, is it?
No.
They've got Terence Gongolo they had on loan.
Yeah, and apparently I think they really liked him.
That's their big. He played left back, but he's going to.
Centre-back.
I think they're going to move him into centre back.
Yeah. Eric Durm obviously played for Germany a few times, I think.
Yeah, he kept the Dortmund left back outside.
Oh, okay. Not really much to say. Ramadan Sobby.
He didn't impress that much.
Yeah, he never. I mean, he didn't play that much.
Can't
for
even
relegated
recall him
Stoke.
play.
Yeah, he's one. You see him at the end of the match today. He comes on, and you think,
Yeah.
he could do well, but he doesn't really do it.
Yeah.
But you'd
He's
remember
got
if he
a step
turned the
over.
game around. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
He never really did. But a highly rated youngster, maybe he could do well at Huddersfield. I think today they signed Mpenza. I think he's a
City
winger.
player, Mpenza
Yeah.
from all those years ago.
Isaac Mpenza. I'd say a relatively underwhelming window again. I think they could struggle again. They've got a great manager, and their team is so like they are terriers. They're just like they
I
are.
think they work really hard for
Yeah.
the team. I agree.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
They
well,
are the terriers, and,
yeah.
and they play like it. So they're not going to drop like a stone, but they could struggle. And I'd say it's really I mean, when you look at teams like Fulham and Wolves and how everyone else has strengthened,
It's almost refreshing how they've just sort of built.
but equally they haven't
Yeah.
done as well. I think.
Yeah, I would say it's difficult to say, but not amazing.
What would you say out of 10?
6.
I'd say 5.
Yeah.
We'll go with
We'll go
5.
with 5.
Okay. On to Leicester. Interesting one. They've lost their best player,
Yeah.
Riyad Mahrez, but there was sort of an acceptance that would happen.
Yeah.
Well, they signed, what was his name, the diminutive winger?
Madison.
No.
Gezal.
No, the other one who signed in January, who played really well when he
so-
started in the FA Cup.
In January.
Diabate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was partly to replace him. And then also they signed James Madison, who had a fantastic season last season for Norwich.
25 million. Let's just put this into perspective. So that's from a player who's young from Norwich, got good chance of being a top player maybe in the future. Barcelona paying that same money for Arturo Vidal.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel right, does it?
Also, Spurs signed Dele Alli for 3 million, something, 5 million.
5.
We signed Will Hughes for about 7 million. 25 is a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
For a championship player. Obviously, he's a very good player and he'll be good enough for Leicester.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of pressure for him. I think he will go straight into their team. Johnny Evans is a great budget.
3.5 million.
His start as well.
Fantastic.
Him and
nothing
Maguire.
wrong.
That's
Yeah.
actually
That's
a
great,
very
that's very
good.
good.
Yeah.
Keeping Maguire was very important as well. Slabhead, hero.
Love him. Absolutely love him.
Danny Ward, well, they've kept Schmeichel as well. There was a bit of interest in him.
Yeah.
So signing Danny Ward for 12 million is a weird one.
Weird
I think
for because they could have got even like a. If you think about it,
who's their
Ospina's going for
No,
like.
but 12 million for a sub goalkeeper is a lot. I
Yeah.
think they assumed Schmeichel might be going
Yeah.
And just got him in.
because I think he's actually an alright keeper.
Was Danny Ward at Huddersfield?
He was,
and
yeah.
he started for them,
Yeah.
and then left when they got
he
promoted.
was third choice for Liverpool last season, which is weird because their first 2 choices weren't that good.
But they've also
But he was
let-
probably the same standard.
Yeah,
as them,
exactly.
like, yeah.
Some Liverpool fans were a bit were wondering why he hadn't played before. But
Yeah.
well,
Pereira-
they let their sub goalkeeper go, Ben Hamer.
yeah.
So assume it's just for competition.
So 12 million's a
Yeah.
lot for a second goal.
That's a lot.
But maybe he'll
absolutely.
play. If
I mean,
Schmeichel-
Ospina's leaving Arsenal for about 4 million. It's reported,
Yeah.
and he's an international
Yeah.
goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So-
Pereira, I think, is a good right back, isn't he? I think they're sort of
He's solid.
slowly changing out the old guard in
Yeah.
the team that won the league.
Yeah.
Kante.
Still can't believe they won the
I know,
league.
but Kante and Mahrez have gone.
Impressive.
Obviously, Simpson and Fuchs
Are old. They're in their
they're
30s.
old, but they had unbelievable seasons. But they're not really.
That
They're phasing them out.
Yes.
And they're doing a good job of it.
Morgan
they've got
won't play this
they've got
season.
Chilwell at left
Not
back.
as
They've
much.
got
Huth's gone.
yeah, exactly. They are. Vardy is still there. I love
different
Vardy.
team. They would
But-
he sign a
Vardy
contract
signed a
today?
contract today.
and that's big. I mean, he's
How long was
29,
that?
30, 4 years. He deserves it
He's
though.
31.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves it. He's
Yeah.
still he'll score at least. You think 10 goals next season at least.
Do you think because he started later, he will?
I
go
think
on-
that could, as long as he keeps his pace.
And it doesn't look like he's losing his
No,
place.
it doesn't at all. He's still
He
got.
never
the work
had a
ethic.
big injury.
No,
No.
he didn't have a great World Cup, but I mean, it's
I mean, he
irrelevant.
didn't play.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. it's
Um,
hard.
No, he'll be obviously their best striker. I'd say they've had a good window. I'd say maybe 6.
I've given them
6.
Yeah,
All agree on that?
and then they won't be in any trouble.
No, they'll
yeah.
be fine.
No way.
I think they're more likely to get Europa League than.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
definitely. They'll be one of the teams going for 7th. Yeah.
Okay, now Liverpool.
I think they've had a fantastic
Yeah.
window. Absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I was a Liverpool fan, which I'm not, I would be absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
In that, if you looked at that team last season, you would say, okay, what do we need? We need a goalkeeper. They've got probably the best you could buy in terms of availability, apart from Courtois, but then
Yeah,
you have
never
to buy
get
him.
him.
And he's a disgrace.
They needed more, yeah, exactly. They needed support up front for when perhaps Salah or Mane isn't fit. They've got Sherdan Shaqiri
Yeah.
for 12,
Could have
for
got
13,
Fekir, though.
13
Could have got
million.
Fekir, who-
13 million. That's
I
very
think
good.
That's a brilliant.
That's
People say his
absolute-
attitude, but he's going to be a backup.
Yeah.
and he knows that. And he
He's
can win you games.
He's
obviously.
a talent. He's a
Yeah,
talent.
yeah.
Then you've got Fabinho, who's been linked with United, and he's a good midfielder. He's got energy.
He played in the. He won the league with Monaco.
With
in the same,
Bakayoko.
yeah, so he must be fantastic.
Well, he played at right back before, so there's a chance if they needed to, they could move him back to right back. But I assume they'd sign him as a
I always feel
midfielder,
it.
as a ball winner.
World class,
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
I always feel it's uncomfortable when your right back's about 6'2".
yeah.
I just don't trust players like that.
Keita as well is obviously. Not
And
very
then
good
Keita,
signing.
I mean, he's been very good for. They have a bit of a problem with him. I know he got sent off a great deal for Leipzig, but I think that might have just been like petulance.
And Hendo was quality during the World Cup.
unlucky,
I think he'll start.
They're unlucky about obviously Chamberlain's out for most of the season, but I mean Salah. There was never really much question of him going.
No, never.
Real Madrid
Never.
never really.
What is odd, isn't it?
He's had one unbelievable
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
I think
if
they're
he does
waiting.
it again,
Yeah,
he'll go to
yeah.
Real Madrid, and they'll be talking January if he scores 10, 15 goals before January. But Firmino, I mean, if they're front
Firmino
three,
quality.
Firmino,
I mean,
Mane-
if they're as good as they were last year, they've strengthened, and everyone is saying they will be the team, if anyone, to
push.
the only
push City.
thing I'm looking at it now is they haven't signed another centre
Yeah,
back.
that's what
I
was
still
gonna
think Dejan Lovren's an
World
underrated
class.
player.
Yeah, he said himself, didn't he?
say. Van Dijk's obviously a good defender.
He's very
Lovren's
good.
a good defender alongside of Van Dijk.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what
But
I'm
is
saying.
Klavan their third choice?
No, Matip.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, so he's
Matip's
not bad.
decent.
On paper,
Was Matip injured a lot of last year? He must
Fair
have been.
amount.
on paper they've got a brilliant side, but defensively, Klopp's teams are never. gonna
Reality,
be-
the chances are one of Kaiser or Fabinho doesn't work.
Yeah,
Like and
Robertson and Arnold, they are good, but they could. I can
Robertson gets injured,
Yeah, he's
you're in
not-
trouble. You've
he's
got
not a
Moreno.
top-class player. Yeah, exactly. Or
I think
Milner.
Robertson is a top.
Oh yeah,
player.
Milner, of course.
I think
Yeah,
he is a top
maybe,
class player.
maybe.
I think he's very good. I think. Yeah.
I mean,
Chan's gone on a free, and I think Chan's also a very good player.
That was poor business, but they
Yeah.
replaced it well.
yeah.
Yes.
The other thing I want to look at is Mourinho made a comment at the start of the window that the media have to expect. Was it expect or demand? I can't remember the word
Don't
he
live
used.
like get a trophy.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't a trophy. I think it was to win the league. I think
But
that,
Mourinho-
now I know he plays all these mind games,
Yeah.
but I wrote an article about this. Check it out, guys, if you haven't already. And if you actually analyse how much Mourinho spent compared to what Klopp has spent during their times, and they arrived at a similar time,
Yeah.
Mourinho's double Klopp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mourinho's, if you look at the net spend, it's over 300 million for Mourinho and only 150 for Klopp.
I think, regardless, Liverpool do need to start winning trophies. Obviously, they got to a Champions League final, which is obviously brilliant, but they need to start turning that into trophies.
What would get Klopp sacked?
Nothing this season.
Oh
Even if they
yeah, if they had a
sacked. They got to the Champions League final last
So
year.
they came
loved
No,
it.
but
Fourth?
football that happens. I think.
Not with Klopp.
I think if they
Who
come
do they
outside,
bring in? If you sack Klopp, who do you bring in?
Arsene Wenger?
Point proven.
Yeah.
Marco Silva.
Yeah, no, they won't. They won't sack Klopp this
Rafa?
season unless he comes out and like makes a racist comment or something. They're not going to sack him. They love him. They absolutely love him. I like him. He's such a likable guy.
I think he's a
Yeah.
great manager.
Yeah.
It
and,
pains me.
and
to
also,
say.
when they play well, they are by far the most exciting team to watch.
Yeah.
Guardiola's teams can be brilliant, but I think because they're so bad defensively, Liverpool are so exciting.
It's frantic football.
When
It's
they
like,
beat-
oh my
yeah,
god, it's so
exactly.
good. Like against Roma, it was like, bloody hell, what's going
and
on?
against
Like,
City, it's
Yeah.
it's so exciting.
Okay, so now...
Excellent window.
Okay,
9
let's
out of
let's
10.
rate it.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Excellent.
9 out of 10. All agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the champions, Manchester City.
Didn't really need to make any signings, but
Arguably the best team we've ever seen. I mean, certainly the best team I've ever seen in English football in my lifetime. I was too young to appreciate Chelsea 05 and the Invincibles. But they didn't really need to improve. No one's left.
The only problem they would say potentially is Fernandinho.
getting a bit old.
If he gets injured, they don't really have. Gundogan can play there. I know he can.
Yeah.
But he isn't a proper holding midfielder in the way
Did
that Fernandinho
you
is.
hear what Guardiola came out with after Community Shield?
What did he say?
Well, because John Stones played in there the last 10
Yes,
minutes.
no, I've heard this.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
and
Yeah, he wants
so
Stones to play.
Stones
switched
played there the
off.
last 10 minutes, and Guardiola said in the press conference, "We've never done it before, but I think he can do it. I think he's got everything in his game
I
to
want him to
do
play
it."
centre back.
No, so do I.
for England.
But they've got
He is very
Otamendi, Company, and
I love all the
Laporte.
England players. Yeah,
So if it does come to it,
and Walker can play centre back.
exactly. So they'd sacrifice Stones
I mean,
to put him in
And
there.
there are three signings: Felipe Son, Claudio Gomez, and Daniel Alzani. 3 superb signings.
They're all youngsters.
Yeah,
And they
they
sent.
didn't need to sign anyone.
But I think signing Mahrez, again, there were points maybe against Liverpool you thought they need a bit of something different.
Yeah.
I mean, Mane.
What do you think of
Sané.
Mahrez? I think
I
he's
think
a
he's
squad.
fantastic.
It's
I think
a
he's so good.
Similar to Shaqiri, but better. As
Better,
in, he's just
better than
another option.
Shaqiri.
I think he's a better football player than Shaqiri, but I had a bet with he actually didn't accept the bet in case Mahrez got injured, but I was prepared to have a bet that he won't start 25 games this season
In all competitions.
in the league.
Oh, in the. I think he might.
difficult.
Be.
I think
he'll be ahead of one.
There's
of
also
Sané.
part of me that says I don't know why United didn't try and sign him.
Yeah, no, but it's
Or-
different.
Would he
Arsenal.
have come to
No.
United?
I don't know. I think City or you
Exactly.
can't say no, and
Yeah.
he backed himself against.
Guardiola.
He probably backed himself against Sterling.
Yeah.
because that's his competition.
I think Sterling's a young English player, and he did so well last year.
For City.
That Guardiola, it'd be such a shame if he didn't have a season like on top of it, and then his
it could
growth
be good
is
for
stunted.
Sterling. It could be good for Sterling having serious competition.
Could be bad.
Yeah, because
it could be bad. It could be good.
Yeah.
I mean,
personally, I hope that City persists with Sane and Sterling because I just think both are fantastic.
I hope, for the sake of the Premier League, it's not as easy for them this season because it obviously.
Yeah. I feel the whole Premier League, not just Arsenal fans, sort of wants Arsenal to win that first game. Not only they can't go on like a long run where they're not defeated, but as well, sort of they're already 3 points behind.
And
so
everyone gets in their head they're beatable.
They're beatable,
well.
yeah.
I mean, also though, I know Chelsea were poor. They were very good in the
final.
The Community Shield. They were very good.
Exceptional, weren't they? I'm worried.
That's Sergio Aguero is a good player.
He'll go places, I'm telling you.
Never been in Team of the Year.
Really?
Never.
But he's so consistently good that it's never a surprise when he scores like 25 goals. No. We just expect that.
Yeah. Okay.
So, he is 30 though.
But he's never. His game's never been on pace. I mean, he's quick, but he's never been on. He's never been. He's never relied.
I'd say 7 out of 10.
I'd say 8.
I'd say 8. I'd say 8.
It's not been a good window.
But then they say, what do you want? They want
about like an average window for them would be if they lost Sterling and brought in Mahrez, and then it's sort
they
of
were never going to lose any of them.
Plus
exactly. So they kept them
and they've got Mendy coming back from an injury, which is like a brand new signing.
Seeing him,
he was very good as well.
Seeing him play football, it actually seems weird.
Yeah, you feel like he's like social media correspondent.
Exactly, for City, he didn't play, but he's always piping up. When I actually saw him on the pitch, I was like, he's a footballer.
You forget he's actually meant to be quite good.
He is good. He is good. I'd say 8.
Yeah, I'd say 8. We
Getting rid of Joe Hart could hurt them, but...
Okay, moving on to United. Sort of the odd one, because I think we all can agree that Man United are the biggest club in England, and aside from more or less... maybe Real Madrid, Barcelona, they can maybe...
They should be able to.
They should be able to attract any player they want.
I mean, the deadline day has been... Not that I particularly wanted any of the players to come in. It's been quite shambolic. To suddenly, out of nowhere, say, we fancy Diego Godin, because Mourinho knew he only had 2 years left in his contract. It's just not really good enough.
Slightly embarrassing.
Godin is 32 years old as well. Okay, fine, we have a bad defence, not a great defence. But then also the fact that United haven't signed any defenders, whilst the whole time he's been criticising them and saying, we need defenders. If you're Smalling or Jones or any of them, you're like, well, he doesn't want me here.
He does that publicly.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking... I think he knows what he's doing. I'm sure he's said to Smalling and Jones. He hasn't said, I don't want you guys. I'm sure he makes them feel wanted. Publicly, I think public Mourinho is very, very, very different to private Mourinho. Everything he says is calculated. Yeah. It was a bit embarrassing going for Godin, Maguire, Alderweireld, Zuma,
Boateng.
I saw on Jagielka as well. That might have been a joke.
No, you're having.
But I saw a couple of tweets. But you didn't get any of them, and it is weird seeing United go for players and not get them.
How could they not have got Toby Alderweireld?
Spurs actively wanted to get rid of him and Rose. So Levy obviously wanted probably too much money, but.
Just do it.
It would have been a very good fit for United.
I personally don't think they will win the league because they couldn't settle on buy Jones, Smalling, Rojo last year.
They're always injured,
and it's the same 4.
They're always injured. One of them or 2 of them.
What's his best partnership?
I've no idea.
Exactly.
I've got
that
no
is
idea.
the point.
There hasn't been a clear best partnership between Ferdinand Vidic. Yeah. Really.
You're right.
There was one, the best defensive partnership, Evans. And unfortunately he's gone this season, was Blin Smalling.
In that year.
A couple of years ago, the hope was, towards the end of Ferguson, that Smalling and Jones would just take over and dominate.
No, they just really haven't.
Because Ferguson said Jones might be the best player ever for United. Or he could be, but it just hasn't worked.
He was as good as he is now.
He's a hilarious footballer.
As he was when he was 19.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And if you're that
good,
so he's got everything in him. He's got the physical presence. He's reasonably tall. He's strong. He'll put his head where people won't put their feet.
He'd punch his grandma for 3 points.
Yeah.
But he's not that good. He's not a world class centre back.
We're talking about players who've come in. Fred, he looks like a good player. It seems like if I was looking at United last season, I don't think Pogba likes playing in a 2. The way Mourinho asked for a 2, where they both sort of sit, so that would give Pogba perhaps more license to roam, as it were. I hope he turns out good.
Didn't get in the Brazil squad.
But he didn't get in the Brazil squad. He got in the Brazil squad, he didn't get in the team.
Oh, was he in the squad?
Yeah, he was in the
Okay,
squad, he didn't
fine.
get in the team. Interesting then to say so I suppose where he plays, where Casemiro played, when Casemiro was suspended, they brought on Fernandinho and didn't even think about bringing on Fred.
Is Fred a holding player?
No, Fred's he's like Fernandinho was when he played with Yaya Toure. So he's sort of like box to box, moves everywhere.
So I reckon United will have him in there with Matic. This is when everyone's fit.
Yeah,
Matic
with
injured.
Pogba as well.
And Pogba will have that more free license. Although
He does seem unsettled though.
Exactly,
Pogba.
there were so many rumours.
I mean, from what I've heard, he's completely fallen out with Mourinho.
That's what
register sources
Yeah.
have
Register
found out.
sources have found this out.
Pogba's not happy.
Yeah.
He's not happy.
But yeah, so I mean,
if he plays like he did for France, you've got obviously an.
I mean, he's a fantastic footballer. There's never been doubt, but Mourinho, and then Diogo Dalot. He played, I think, 3 times for Porto last season. 20 million is a lot.
Yeah,
for a youngster who played 3 times and never
they
started.
would have seen
for...
something, wouldn't they?
Lee Grant, excellent signing.
Well, no, you're like in all seriousness, it's clever.
solid.
Get the English guy, or is he English? Yeah.
Lee Grant.
Yeah, he's English.
Yeah.
We'll get him on the homegrown list because they need 8
yeah.
players and he will never play, so who cares?
He's probably buzzing.
And
Yeah.
he's probably getting like his coaching badge and stuff like that. So yeah,
it suits everyone. So Ed, as the United fan, what would you say out of 10?
I'm going to say 6.
6?
I'd say 5.
I'd say 4. I'd say 4 based on their expectations.
The expectations also in that I don't know what defenders who genuinely would really change the team. I know Maguire had a good World Cup. Is he that much?
Alderweireld would have.
Yeah, fine. But was he? I don't know.
You should, that's a weird one. I'd have thought that would fit perfectly.
6, 5. I don't think 4. I think that's a bit harsh because we did address the midfields.
They haven't
we'll
weakened
agree with
their
5.
side.
No, it's not weakened.
Yeah.
And I mean, Martial hasn't left yet. But then I suppose Mourinho did say categorically he's not going to another Premier League side.
Sanchez needs to have a good season.
Well, Sanchez had a good pre-season, even though everyone else has been terrible.
Yeah.
He was our best player.
Okay.
So,
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree on 5?
5.
Okay. Now we'll move on to Newcastle. Another interesting one.
So they've signed Salomon Rondon.
Yeah.
And I think Salomon Rondon is fantastic. I think he's really good. Genuinely, outside of a top 8 side, so I'd put like Leicester and Everton in there. Even Everton, I think he'd start at every club.
I just think there's a lot of players at that level as well. I mean, you'll probably disagree with this. I wouldn't say he's a massive upgrade on
Charlie Austin.
I was going to say Troy Deeney.
Oh, he's much better than Austin. Deeney, fair enough, because he's also such a talisman for Watford. Yeah. But I genuinely think he's a good player, and he got.
Didn't Deeney only score 2 goals?
He did. Deeney had a terrible season, but he'll score 20 this year.
No,
if
I used the World Cup.
I think Rondon is a good signing.
Ki Sung-yong as well. Tidy footballer on a free.
Not going to keep you up though.
Ki Sung-yong from Swansea.
From Swansea, yeah.
Dubravka they signed from
Kennedy
last year.
impressed on loan last season.
That's 2 players that were good last year. Shaw.
So no, it's not real life, but years ago I had him on FIFA and he turned out to be 85.
Kennedy?
No, Fabian Shaw.
Oh, sorry.
So he had potential a long time ago. But that's 3 million as well for a player who might start. That's still good.
International as well, yeah.
Yeah, they've kept. I know he didn't have a great season in terms of fame, but their club captain, centre back,
Jamal Lascelles.
that's his name. They kept him. Yeah, they're good players.
I think
I
genuinely
today the Swansea centre back Fernandez.
Federico, who was club captain last season
for Swansea.
Yeah,
well he's a Premier League defender.
I actually think Lascelles should be in with a shout for England.
I agree.
He definitely will be if he has a good season because.
He's a leader, he's a captain.
The thing is, whoever Southgate picks for England, I completely back him. So,
yeah, he's the one.
Yeah, he is the one. He still is. Yoshinori Muto, I don't know anything about.
He's a striker, I think.
Yeah, I know that, but he
must have played for Japan in the World Cup.
I don't think he did. Okazaki played a lot.
But either way,
and Osaka.
I think Liverpool fans are disappointed. Benitez is disappointed. They've barely spent any money.
But it's not Benitez's fault.
No, of course not. It's Ashley. They love Benitez, but it's Ashley who wants to sell the club, so he's not going to put any money in. But
he's looking.
They're such a big club. They are
to be honest, so if you look at this in terms of, I know they've not brought a lot of money in, but in terms of Premier League experience, they've done very well to get Ki Sung Young and Salomon Rondon and Kennedy. They know that they've got. Kennedy played last season, and Dubravka was good on. I mean, I know no one in the world knew who he was apart from the Newcastle manager when he signed, and he was very good when I saw him last season. And then they
should have got Joe Hart though. I know he was very good, but that would have been a nice fit.
Wages are probably a problem.
Do you not think Joe Hart at Newcastle sounds a lot nicer than Joe Hart?
It does.
He's an absolute nutcase, but I think they'll struggle. I think if Benitez goes, they'll be in trouble.
I actually think they've done okay. I think they've got.
What would you rate? I'd say
6.
4.
I'd say 6. I'd say 6.
No, I'd say 5. Their fans don't seem to be happy at all with their window.
Yeah, like if you're Newcastle fans, you know that you're probably only going to survive because you've got the best manager of that group.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not surviving because of You're not surviving because of necessarily your squad.
Mitrovic is a weird one. They obviously didn't really want him, but letting him go to another sort of rival.
The fans liked him.
Yeah, I mean, the fans. He's that type of player. Yeah. But they obviously got 22 million. That's a decent return.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to pay for Rondon because they swapped him for Gale, didn't they?
Yeah.
And Gale's he's a great Championship striker, not quite good enough for the Premier League. So that was a good
deal.
For
that's
both
a good
teams.
deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about 5-6.
Now, so wait, you said 5. I said 4. You said
5.
5. Ed said 6.
So 5.
So 5.
Easy maths.
Southampton.
Maths A level. Southampton.
Odd one. But there's also
lost their best player, arguably.
Dusan Tadic.
Yeah.
He's a very good player.
He's their most creative player. I think he was quite frustrating for Southampton fans.
I mean, when he turned it on towards the run-in, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
He really
Buffal
was.
as well was a really frustrating.
But he's gone as well.
Exactly.
Guido Carrillo.
Lamina's still there, isn't he?
Yeah,
yes,
but he's very frustrating. I think.
They've got a lot,
As in Guido Carrillo as well came in January, wasn't great.
Wasn't he a record signing?
Yeah, but he's gone on loan.
Score a goal,
to Leganés.
Yeah.
But he's gone. Leganés have the same manager who managed most of them last season. What's his name?
Pellegrino.
Yeah, him.
Oh, really?
He's the manager of Leganés.
Who's I forgot his name. Who scored in the League Cup final?
Gabbiadini.
He's still knocking around.
Yeah, he's their striker. Well, no, they've signed Ings now, so
that's big.
Also,
that
if he stays fit,
big man, little man, Ings, Charlie Austin.
If
you just want to see that, don't you?
They've also signed Angus Gunn, who was
rated.
really good at Norwich.
Yeah.
Really good.
Keeper.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think McCarthy will start the season, but
then Gunn could easily come in.
Yeah.
And I think that could end up being quite a good signing. Also with Vestergaard,
they need
he's a centre back. He started a lot of Mönchengladbach, and they're a top 7, 8 in Germany, and that's a good league.
I personally think they're in a bit of trouble.
Same. Last year they came very, very
Last
close.
year they were very close, and I don't think they've really improved the squad.
Stuart Armstrong.
If you look, last year they even had Van Dijk for 3-4 months.
Yeah, but he was injured for quite a while.
He's still there.
Yeah, I think
he still played at least the 10 games.
They'll be nearer the bottom than they will the top 7.
I think they've done. I'm going to put myself on a limit. I think I disagree with you guys. I think they've done okay.
You think? Okay, it's interesting. So what would you have 10 rated?
6.
I'd say 5.
I'd say
6
4.
or 7.
So it's another 5.
Yeah, fantastic maths, Jack.
Thank you. Maths A level.
Yeah. Okay, so on to Spurs now.
No signings.
Yeah, a really weird one. First time ever in the Premier League. But I think you think the same as me. I don't think it's that bad.
No, it's not.
It's not as bad as people are making out.
They've kept a very good squad, a very settled squad. I think one of in terms of squad dynamic and squads that genuinely get on and are friendly. I don't think I know a better one. And that does really, when you look in the players and you know they get on.
The bands between Ali and
they love the manager, the team, the players that they've improved over the time. We've also got Lucas Moura's got a full season in the squad, and he's a good player. Lamella's back. I think they do. I know they've kept Rose. I don't think they really wanted to.
Yeah, that's him and Vertonghen.
Davis.
Sorry, him and Vertonghen.
So if Rose went, who's the other left back?
I don't know.
Like, as in, they had to keep Rose. It seems so stupid.
Yeah, I know.
I think if Rose went, they'd have brought
someone. I also think Jack Grealish, he's a really good player, but he's not going to be changing the start team lineup.
No, definitely not. Zaha, maybe.
I know, interesting. So if you look at it overall, I think the main thing to think about is at the start of the window with Real Madrid changing their manager,
Sniffing around Kane.
No,
the
just
manager.
that.
Oh, right,
they
yeah.
had to keep Poch, and they went for the Spanish manager. I'm not going to even try and pronounce his name. Julian
Lopetegui.
There we go. Thank you, our Spanish correspondents.
No problem.
They had to keep Poch. Then they had to keep Kane after Ronaldo went.
Ali as well.
Kane, who was top goal scorer. I think if you actually look at it, they could have easily sold Kane for 200 million, replaced that in the same way they did with the Bale deal, signed maybe 3 or 4 players around it, and had a worse side. But Spurs fans would almost be a little bit excited. Let's say they signed a Dembele.
After the Bale deal, they weren't gutted. They were resigned to losing Bale, and they thought, we brought in like 5 or 6 really good players.
Soldado,
one of them was Etienne
Caputo.
Paulinho,
Lamela.
Vlad Chiriches. So as in, I think ultimately Spurs fans have to look at it and think, we're going through the transition with the stadium.
It's a massive year for them.
It's huge.
They need top 4 and to win a trophy.
No, they do.
More trophy than top 4, I think.
Just to say,
but if they win a trophy and don't come top 4, it seems like a nice end for players. Will be like, that's really nice. I'm going to go to a Champions League club and I finally won my trophy with Spurs. And if they don't win the trophy and come top 4, people will be those same players will be saying, you know what, Harry Kane will be 26. He's right in the prime of his career. He's got to win a trophy now.
Yeah.
So.
Although they did win the International Champions Cup this summer, didn't they?
Yeah,
so.
They won it the year before. So.
Oh, really?
I think I recall Vincent Janssen going.
So why is everyone saying they don't have any trophies? I'd say 5 out of 10. They haven't brought anyone in.
Yeah, you can't say better, but it is not that
bad. It's not a disaster.
No, not a disaster.
People make out no signings.
I mean, I was leaning towards maybe 6, just purely because
I might say 6 as well.
In fact, in a way, they've improved because those players are only going to get better, aren't
they? Yeah.
And you look at maybe Vertonghen's a bit old, but they've got Sanchez.
And
they've kept him with no interest.
Someone like Harry Winks could have a good season, could come in. James just winked at me.
Okay, so agree on 6?
Yeah,
5 or 6.
Okay. Now to Watford, Jack's speciality. Go on. What do you think?
It's a difficult one. We've lost one of probably our most exciting player for a lot of money, and we couldn't turn it down because it's a hell of a lot of money, and he was inconsistent. And we got pretty much all our business done very early, and I thought at the beginning we needed a left back, a centre back, a keeper, and a striker. We got a left back and a keeper. Signed a young centre back who I'm actually quite excited about in Ben Wilmot. Haven't signed a striker, but I think Deeney and Gray up top will be all right.
I think that's worrying. Deeney
on the face of it,
as well.
He had an awful season last season.
And Gray didn't have a good season.
No, Gray, he's admitted that. But both strikers are so much better in the 2, just the way they play.
But you can't play like that away from home.
No, you can't. But I mean, we don't need that many points. We need 40 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've got Will Hughes to come in and play.
Will Hughes, I love Will Hughes. If he's fit the whole time, I love him. Chalabar's basically a new signing. We've signed Domingos Quina, who's meant to be one of the best young players in the world. So.
Ben Foster as well.
Yeah, that's today. Ben Foster, I'm very happy with.
Yeah.
Sort
of guy who'll take the captaincy or the vice captaincy.
Yeah,
no,
100%. He's
good leader. We've got another young keeper who's bringing up.
Is Gomez
gone?
Yeah, very happy with that.
Is Gomez gone?
No, Gomez is still there. He might go to China or Brazil, but he's still here at the moment. There's a lot of unknown quantities. We've signed Ken Semmer, who played for Ostersunds. We've got Adalberto Peñaranda, Isaac Success. A lot of these players. Well, Richarlison was an unknown quantity. If any of these players...
back that one will...
Yeah, hopefully kick on. If they score 5 or 6 goals.
I just don't think you've got...
Doucouré signed a new deal.
I don't think they'll go down, but...
Do you know, I think they'll be close. I think there's so much... you did a very good article, which, again, guys, check it out if you haven't already, about how sort of the Pozzos remain stable despite appearing...
Yeah. But this is the first year. This is the most stability we've had. Normally we have 10 to 12 signings.
Yeah,
we've had 6 or 7 this year, and the manager.
My opinion is I just think that one of these years it will catch up on you. It might not be this year,
yeah,
it might be next year, it might be the year after.
You never know.
But
I think we've started to change. We're not going to be signing 10 to 12 players every window. Gracia has done it with Malaga in the past. He does very well with limited a limited squad. I think he finished top 10 with them.
Yeah.
And they were awful.
I also think if Doucouré gets injured...
But then we've got Chalabar, Capu,
Capu's not good enough.
Cleverly when he gets back. Capu on his day is very good. He's so inconsistent. Cleverly, I really like.
They've got a lot of tidy footballers.
Tidy,
Yeah.
but
Maybe like Swansea.
yeah, Swansea had tidy players.
Very different type of team.
Tom
but
Carroll.
Stoke had tidy players. Joe Allen.
yeah,
I mean, that is
I'm
one
not.
tidy
I'm
player.
not. I'm not. I'm not. We could struggle. I think we'll be all right though.
I think Watford will be okay.
Yeah.
I think that. I mean, so difficult to predict 3 teams to go down, but in my predictions, I put them to come 8.
For us, the biggest thing is our injuries. Our injury list was, I think, one of the worst in the league last year. If all our players stay fit, then we'll be fine.
Okay, so ranking.
I'd say it was a bit disappointing not to bring in a striker. We were linked with Paco Alcacer and so many players, but I'd say 6 out of 10,
Yeah, 6.
maybe 5.
I've got 4.
I
Fair
think
enough.
yeah,
We're not
fair.
friends anymore, but that's fine.
I just think you didn't address your striker issue, and maybe there was Joe Hart available instead of Ben
No,
Foster.
that's not Ben Foster. I'd rather have than Joe Hart.
Okay.
I disagree, but
Well
yeah,
then.
okay.
We'll agree to disagree.
Okay, so we'll agree on 5 for Watford.
Yeah. Up the arms.
So penultimately is a word.
Yeah.
Yeah. West Ham.
I think it's good.
Yeah, they've had a very good window.
Very good window.
Well, on paper.
On
Very
paper.
good window.
Lucas Fabianski, top goalkeeper.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really
Very
Watford
good.
wanted him.
Jack Wilshere.
No.
I know you're
I
captain.
do love Jack
Overrated.
He is no, but he is a good footballer.
I think if West Ham can get 30 games out of him in the
Yeah,
league,
big if. Big
yeah,
if.
obviously it's a big if. If they can get 30 games from him this season in the league, then they'll be flying.
They've
Right.
got Ryan Fredericks, who was really good, but that's the Championship.
Free
Free deal
yeah.
though. Felipe Anderson, who has been linked with United a lot,
He's one of those.
but he's one of those. How good is he? I don't think he started a lot last season. He was often out the side.
FIFA, he's very good.
He
Yeah,
flopped-
FIFA's
yeah.
very, very
He funny
fast.
enough flopped for Spurs on my Football Manager. So
I mean, him and Yarmolenko, I wouldn't be surprised at all if
one
one
of the
is
2
terrible
will come off.
and one of them's
Yes,
quite good.
Yeah,
they're both not
Like
coming
big
off.
money. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
way.
yeah.
There's no way they're both going to be here.
Yeah.
And if they are, then what? Then I mean, Champions League for West Ham. But
Yeah.
on paper, Lucas Perez, what, 4 million or something?
Good sign.
Yeah.
Lucas
it's a good
Perez is a
sign.
good player.
Yeah.
I mean, he did play.
They're not
he
going to
went-
fit them all in, are they?
Well, Lucas
Carlos
Perez went
Sanchez,
back-
they signed today as well.
Lucas Perez went back to Deportivo last season
And
and,
he
they
had a
went
good
down.
year.
He was bad.
No, but what he apparently, from what I heard,
Yeah.
was their shining light in a
Yeah.
bad year.
Carlos Sanchez played for Aston Villa a while ago. Wasn't very
rubbish.
Wasn't
But
very good.
he's their
He had a poor
Chiata
World Cup,
replacement.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not a very good.
I think they've signed him as a backup.
Their Chiata replacement.
Yeah.
Issa
Well,
Diop is meant to be
he's a centre
highly
half.
rated. I
He's
don't
supposed to be quite good.
They've just lost their best under
Who are their
19 player
centre-halves?
though in
They got
Domingos
Reed
Rice.
O'Connor, Rice. They might have needed another centre half. I think
yeah,
they
that's
might
it's a Diop will be that.
Diop centre half.
Oh, they
Then
signed
James Collins was also
gone now.
Balbuena.
Yeah.
He's a centre back, I think. I might be wrong, but no, they've had a decent. I think they've had a good.
I think they have a good season.
I'm giving them 8 out of 10.
Also,
Yeah, I think 8.
Pellegrini is a very good manager.
Very good manager.
So I'd
Yeah.
say 7 or 8.
I'd say 8.
Yeah.
I'd say
Okay, all agree on 8.
But
Fine.
sorry, just with West Ham, it could all implode with the
Yeah.
stadium and stuff at any time. So
You feel like they've got
Yeah.
that toxic.
yeah, I mean,
It's not toxic. That's
the
maybe
fans
wrong
hate
word.
the stadium, which is never a good thing. So
Yeah.
All the
maybe
young
this
lads.
year will sort of click into place. Obviously, it helps
They-
if they play well.
They
the
need a
fans will
couple.
like it.
I mean, they need a couple brilliant night games under the Olympic
Yeah,
Park
yeah.
Stadium where they beat Chelsea or Spurs
Exactly.
and sort of the fans sort of all come
Everyone
as
gets
one.
excited. Yeah.
Or maybe a cup run would help them. They've
Yeah.
not been involved in a cup run since what, maybe 2006.
Yeah, well, the Gerrard final.
Yeah, that's all I can remember. Okay, so finally Wolves. What do you think, Ed?
Well, as the Portuguese correspondent, he's done very well there. I mean, living in Lisbon, saw Rui Patricio play a number of times, and he's very, very solid.
There's a free.
I mean,
as
it's
well.
very interesting in that he's never been signed or snapped up by one of the big boys.
Yeah.
And you think for a player who's been linked, he's been at the top of his game, as it were, for a while,
Regular
and no one
Portugal.
coming in and signing him, you think there's something there. I know he's had quite a few high-profile mistakes in the past.
I thought he was at fault for Cavani's second in the
Yeah.
World Cup.
But in terms of, Kylie Kamey unfortunately retired after his bout with cancer, and they had John Ruddy was last season goalkeeper.
Yeah, of course.
You'd say you've got to bring another
He's a
goalkeeper.
championship keeper, yeah.
Yeah, Rui Patricio is pretty much as good as you can expect
Yeah.
by a mile.
Yeah, I think he's played what, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 times for Portugal.
They also big signings in that Willy Bolly's now permanently there, and same with Jota. who were very good in the Championship.
And Johnny.
They've managed to keep, I forget his name, the defensive midfielder.
Neves.
Who's fantastic.
Yeah.
Probably the best player the Championship's ever seen.
Yeah.
To play there in his prime.
Troy Deeney, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. João Moutinho, another player who's been around for a while, and
He's
very
a similar
good.
sort of player to Neves, though, isn't he? In the sense that they're not attacking midfielders, but they're creative midfielders in a deeper role. No, I don't want to say a regista, but
he's been linked with Spurs for the last 10
Leander
years.
Dendoncker as well.
Dendonker's
Who's linked
a
with
superb
United.
signing.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, played against England, didn't he? In the
Yeah, and he
World
played
Cup,
against United in the Europa League. I saw him play. I mean, that's one game, but he was very good. Scored a header.
yeah.
Traore was as well. Unbelievably exciting player.
No, he's the one that I personally am really excited about.
He could be bad, but
I've
could be
never
brilliant.
seen a player beat. He beats.
Yeah, he's
about 12
unbelievable. He's the end product.
Arsenal played Middlesbrough when season before last,
Yeah.
when Middlesbrough were in the Premier League, and it was 0-0 at the Emirates. He must have
Wasn't
killed.
he? Yeah, he was man of the match.
He was unbelievable. I've
Yeah.
never seen anyone as quick as him.
On his day, he'll be unbelievable, but he obviously needs to do that more.
Yeah.
They got rid of Barry Douglas.
Yeah,
which is
I
a
thought
weird
that as
one.
well. Very weird because he
'Cause
was one of their best
He
players.
got the most assists in the
He was
Championship last
fantastic.
season.
Where did he
But
go?
Leeds.
Good signing for them.
yeah.
3 million as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, something really. It's a weird one. I think the Wolves fans were kind of a bit confused, but obviously they're bringing in so many
They
players.
brought in Johnny Castro,
Yeah.
who was at, I think it was Celta Vigo last season, and Atletico Madrid have loaned him out. I think he's another Mendes link.
I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. They've got a lot of good
In
players.
the same way, it's very similar to Fulham.
I think
Yeah, and in
top
that
10,
also in terms of, I know they've made a lot of signings, but some of these signings were loan players last season who took them up and were fantastic.
I'll be interested to see how their manager does.
Yes.
I think I quite like him as a character. What's his name again?
I think he did very bad. Well, everyone
Yeah,
did
he was
bad.
very bad.
But his name is
The Gary Neville season.
Nuno.
Espirito Santo.
No.
Nuno Espirito.
He's a massive character, and him. I don't know when it is.
I look
Wolves
forward.
against Cardiff.
Yes,
will be brilliant
yeah.
with the
I
touchline.
reckon it'll be a classic. They'll hug before to make everyone know that they're friends.
But then they'll be at their necks the whole game. Yeah. They've had it. I'd say 8 out of 10.
I think
give
8 out of 10.
Paper, brilliant. Well, Mendes has been a massive
I mean,
help for them.
it's fantastic.
Okay.
I think it could backfire in a few years. I just don't think having an agent having that much power at your club could be that good. But at the moment, they could challenge top 7. I think.
I'd give 9.
Yeah, I'd give
I
8
think
or 9.
8.
Them and Liverpool.
Okay, we'll stick with 8.
Them and Liverpool, I'd say, had the best.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask your top 3.
Liverpool, Wolves, and maybe West Ham.
I think maybe West Ham or Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal.
Arsenal had a very good window.
I wouldn't put us. I'd say we maybe, if you look at the 20 teams, maybe like 6th or 7th. But I'd say Fulham, Wolves, Liverpool, not in any order, but those 3 specifically. Really
I think
fantastic.
Wolves, Liverpool, for me, stand out above the rest. As just very good.
It's going to be a great season.
Yeah, let's hope for more drama.
Yeah.
Let's hope for a title race.
Yeah.
And
I'm very excited.
yeah,
I'm so excited.
we all love this time of the year. So thanks for listening, guys. We know this was a long one. I'm sure you've skipped through it and not listened to us talk for the full. Is it an hour and a half or something like that?
Worth it.
But yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know who you think had the best transfer window, who had the worst transfer window, and hopefully we'll get another podcast to you very soon.
See ya.